What's going on, everybody? It's Monday. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. My phone's been acting up lately, so hopefully this is working. I don't know. Yeah. So sorry about leaving you guys all hanging out on last Monday, but we all had we all had stuff pop up for us. So, but basically, what I was saying before about if you've got something that you cool you want to show off, post it. Go live, jump on there. If you want to join us at any time, let us know and we can figure something out, and we can have y'all come live with us. It'll be fun.
Hey, what's up, Audrey?
What's going on?
How are we doing today?
Oh, a little tired, but nothing bad.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, moving will do that to you. That will do that to you.
Definitely. Oh man,
So, did you see it? Did you see it?
the new Corvette.
Yeah, the new Corvette. Did you see it? It's all everybody's talking about right now.
Um,
I know you've been
I
doing your
still,
thing, but
I still don't know if I like it.
I definitely agree with you. Go
I mean,
on. Go on.
for the way I look at it is, it's they're touting it as a supercar.
Right.
I- It's still
Well,
a
that's
Corvette.
what all the. I mean, every headline right now is, a cheap Ferrari fighter. Like that's the big scoop, the
Yeah,
big headline. Everybody's talking about how it's this crazy supercar, but is it?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a Corvette.
I mean, look, the car looks nice. The pictures are very pretty. It's got some pretty pictures. The interior looks nice.
Has it been tested?
That's the thing, right? Like we're
It
at
gone
that
around the
stage where
track yet?
it's like, I don't know, has it?
I don't know. I'm
That's
just
where,
saying.
because that's where we're at with it right now. It's like, okay, those are some pretty pictures. Does it
Yeah,
drive?
yeah.
Like,
Does it move under its own power? I mean, you guys have been teasing this for what, a year?
oh, longer than that.
Well,
Longer than
I
that.
know,
I
but I
mean,
mean,
they've been
like
talking about
this.
a mid-engine Corvette for a
Oh
few
yeah, yeah.
years.
Oh yeah,
But
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
they've been
about like
talking about
this.
this C8. Get out of here, dude. What are you doing? Well, hoodlums visiting me today.
Of course.
Let me tilt this down a little bit. There we go. But yeah, what were we talking about? C8 Corvette? Yeah, they were teasing this for a while. They were
Yeah,
teasing this for a while.
and I don't know if it's living up to the hype.
We can't know that yet. Like you said,
Well,
it
I
hasn't
mean,
been around a racetrack. I don't know. I know there were early reports, and this was months ago, and everyone was talking about how the engine was too powerful, or had too much torque, and their chassis wasn't strong enough to handle the torque.
yeah,
And
that's why it's only 450 horsepower instead of its
instead of 500,
700. Well, they were going to try to put the 700 horsepower power plant into it, but it was just too big and it was causing too many issues. So they're like, let's cut it in half. Let's cut the
well, I
power in
mean,
half.
cheers to them for trying to, if you're gonna go for it, go for it. I guess if you're gonna dream big, let's try it. I guess, but yeah, it's at that point where, like, right now, I'm way more torn about the new Corvette than I was before. Because before I was like, okay, um, it's not supposed to be a mid-engine. That's silly. And please stop trying to make a Ferrari. Because I mean, the C7 Corvette, the front end was very Ferrari-ish. They really
Yes.
tried to compete
I
with
mean,
that styling.
those headlights. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that you stole them from Ferrari. Like those were
Right.
Ferrari
I'm
OEM
surprised there
pieces.
wasn't like a copyright. I mean, honestly, if you look at the 458, I'm surprised there wasn't a copyright infringement lawsuit somewhere in the midst there because
It was
it
pretty
was pretty darn
close.
close. Yeah, it was. It was really close.
Yeah, it's almost like somebody went, "Hey man, I found these headlights. They're going to be perfect for the new Corvette." And
It
then
was
somebody comes up
so
and goes,
awesome.
"Aren't these Ferrari headlights?" No, no, we'll just sand that off.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not full blown Ferrari.
We'll just
But
sand that
yeah,
part off.
well, now the new one, okay, so they definitely stole design styles from, I mean, if you look at it, McLaren, Ferrari, and Lamborghini, I mean,
Mm.
they really tried to make it look like it fits that market. And I would say, honestly, look-wise, I like the way it looks. I think it's cool looking.
I It's just, to me, I'm used to seeing long nose Corvettes.
Right.
You know, and seeing the nose on that thing so short, it's like what's going on here? It really, like, I've seen a couple of memes where they have a picture of the new Corvette and then a Fiero underneath it.
Yeah. Oh man, I saw that meme. Yeah. I'm like, oh
It's
no,
crazy.
they made it for you.
But I mean, it doesn't look like it's all that big of a car.
Right. No, it does look pretty small. I want to say they said the dimensions were similar. It's definitely going to look and feel shorter, I think, because, like you said, you're used to that long nose on the Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird because it looks really great, but, dude, I mean, honestly, okay, so the front end, this is my breakdown. The front end looks like a Ferrari. The interior, they basically stole from, I mean, Lamborghini was the ones that had that pilot switch to activate the engine, right? It's not actually
Yeah.
a push button. There's a little switch you pull up that
Oh, well,
they
yeah,
had that exact thing.
and then they have that little, like, I don't know, like iPhone next to the steering wheel.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I think that's probably your gauges.
The taillights look like someone melted down one of the Camaros and just kind of stretched it out on the taffy machine. Like, it's just weird and kind of flowy. I like it. I don't necessarily hate it, but it's like, you can tell what they tried. Like, it's like when someone's like, I'm going to draw a picture of a Corvette, and they really tried. They almost got there.
Well, what to me what it looks like is, you know, when you take a car and then you like cut out little pieces of another car and then you just glue pieces on
Right,
that
exactly.
car.
No, yeah, I got you.
That's what it looks like. You know, I don't want to say
It
5-year-old, but it looks like a little kid made a collage of all of his favorite car parts on one car,
right,
and just kind of stuck it together.
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, yeah, that's exactly what it is, because it's like they just cut and then they cut out the little, oh man, yeah, no, they cut out the wrong logo and put it on the hood, and it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, no, totally.
that's exactly
It's
what it
definitely,
looks like.
but
Because I
they
mean,
did it. I mean, I'm gonna say they did it nicely. They did a good job.
well, yeah,
I'm not one to
that
compliment GM.
6-year-old
You
grew
guys
up.
know me. I can't stand General Motors. I like the new Corvette. I don't like the new Corvette. I like the new Corvette. No. Well, you can't decide until it drives, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks. When did they say?
Right.
Have they said anything about like release dates for it?
2020. I want to say April. I don't know if that's right. I know the internet's gonna go nuts. I don't know if that's
But
right. I want to say it was April. I was reading it earlier today. I forgot.
and I've seen a handful of different prices for it too. I've seen 50,000. I've seen 60,000.
Right. Well, it seems to be the consensus is that the base model, which means you don't get the magnetic suspension and a bunch of the goodies,
Right.
and I think even the wheels and exhaust and things are different. But the base model is supposed to be just under $60,000, which concerns me very much so.
Because where did they cut corners?
Right. like, wait a minute. That looks
Because
like you made a Ferrari, McLaren, Lamborghini baby.
Here's my thing is,
quarter.
if you can, if it rivals Ferrari and Lamborghini and stuff like that, like they're touting it to do it, and it's a quarter of the price, who's gonna buy Lamborghinis and Ferraris anymore?
Right. Just wave the win flag, right? You just put the big W up. Off. You're done.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
And I mean, like both of us, like you said, we don't like to, you know, attaboy Chevy, but I mean, if you can do it if you can do that for so cheap, why can't these other companies?
I know. So that's what, like, okay, so either they did. What's up, Ray? How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Thanks for commenting. Make sure you share the video out. But yeah, dude. Oh, so we're talking about the new Corvette, Ray, and let me know what you think about it. But it's just like, okay, so you're telling me that James, dude, thank you. Sorry, guys. James is just going, "What's up, guys?" Um, so you have a car that looks like you stole all these different designs, but you did a good job of it. It looks pretty. It's a great photograph. I'm digging it. Um, whether or not it performs, we'll see. It's supposed to. We'll see. But if you did make it, let's say it's $58,000 right now, right? Thank you, Ray. Thank you for the share, buddy. You're awesome. One Wick Firework, guys. That's the place to go. Okay, so, but okay, did you cut corners or did you do a miracle? Is this like the
Well,
greatest
and it's not
car to
even that.
ever live right now?
It's not even
Or
that, but
did
it's like,
you,
okay, so if you're able to do this for such a cheap price, like you said, did you cut
right?
corners, or or are all of these pieces legitimately this cheap, and all these other companies are just gouging the crap out of people with it for the name?
Because you're talking like full-size SUV price here. You're talking, some of the
Yeah,
top of the line, mid-size and compact
I mean,
SUVs. Like
I
this
mean,
is a
you're
car
getting
that you
close.
would consider reasonably priced, right? I mean,
You're
minivan
getting close
status.
to a. You're getting close to a higher end, um, Mustang, or hell, even the new Supra.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's the new, like the new Super was supposed to be released, so you're rivaling, yeah, the Mustang and the Challenger with this car as far as price range goes. That that is concerning. Like I'm excited,
Look,
but that is
yeah, I'm
concerning.
not saying, that I don't like the price. I'm saying that it's a decent price, but
Right.
if you are putting all of this technology and all this styling and being a supercar, what exactly are you getting for $58,000?
What are you getting? You're getting a big engine, definitely a big engine,
Well, I mean,
6.2 liter,
I wouldn't even
450 horsepower. I mean,
yeah,
that's a good engine. If it's a light chassis, they said they're still using body panels, and they went with a aluminum frame. What are
yeah.
we talking about here? I mean, they've the numbers that they've released, and God, this is just so on me. So sorry, this is just like you know me, like this is just weird for me to do for GM. So, but the numbers that they've released look great. The
Right.
weight wise, the power wise, it looks really good. They've got. So what am I missing here? Something is not right about the car. That's what's concerning. And
Right.
Ray, you're exactly right, Ray. It looks like a cross between a Lambo and Ferrari. It's kind of what we've been talking about. Like Marty said, they cut out the pieces of a magazine and glued them together and said Corvette.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
exactly. Geo's on point
Yeah.
too. You guys are agreeing with us. There's something. I
Hmm.
mean, we're not the only ones
But
here,
like I
Marty.
said, I mean, how can you do that for that cheap and still
I don't
claim to be a
know.
supercar?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, for me, Corvettes. So I know everybody's got a Corvette.
We all do.
Eh,
We all prefer the older Corvettes.
Mine's the. I
That's why
like that
the
split window, the 60 split window. What is that? 67,
63, 63.
63. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Thank you. Thank you. Get out of here, dude. Killing me,
But
bro. A monkey's
but
visiting today.
did you heard that the last C7 sold for like 1.2 million just recently?
What?
Yeah,
Who did
the
that?
last C7 that rolled off the lot, a dude
Really?
just bought it for
I'm
like
listening.
1.2 million. But he says that it's going to sit next to his last Viper off the line.
Oh, okay. So he's a collector, right? So this
Right.
is the guy that's got all the cool cars. Okay. I guess so. He's probably got
He's got the
the
money for
last
it.
of a whole bunch. Yeah, he's probably got the last of a whole bunch of card lines.
Right,
So,
right.
maybe a little bit cheaper than buying the first of every car
Who
line,
knows?
and then
Who knows? Maybe he's the same guy who bought the first Supra.
could be that guy. I like that
But
guy.
I mean, for basically, like you said, for half-ton pickup prices,
Oh yeah,
you're gonna
you're
give
talking
me
about
a
a nice pickup
supercar?
truck.
You're gonna give me
Yeah,
a supercar for a half-ton pickup price? I
that's the thing. Like to me, it's just
I
like,
mean,
hey Jeff, what's up, buddy?
what's the current going price for a new like C7 coming off the line?
Well, I know that I don't know the exact price. let me think, because the initial C7 I want to say is in the $70,000 to $75,000 range. I think that the majority of dealerships would be like 70, 75. I know that it tops out somewhere in the $150,000 range when you're talking about the ZR1s
All
and
the
all the
fancy
different special
levels.
editions. Right, right.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. Does
See, that's
I
the
know the
thing is,
Corvette's always been. Here's the thing. Okay, the Corvette's always been kind of cheap as far as like a really fast car goes, but it even in the majority of its, not all of its setups, it had a few good years, but the majority of its setups, it does not handle very well as far as cornering and all that. As far as like cars that are in that kind of class, right? Um, with the amount of power that the Corvette was making, and I don't know if a lot of you guys watch the Grand Tour, Marty. I don't know if you do, but
I haven't.
the C7 ZR1, and they were trying to put it around a race. Well, Jeremy Clarkson was trying to put it around a racetrack, and he's driven just about everything there is to drive.
Right.
And even he kept spinning out over and over and over again, just saying the car was just twitchy. It was hard to handle. But damn, if you got it in a straight line, you could go. So
Right.
did they
And that's
just
what
like fix the
that's
Corvette? Is that what they did? They just fixed it a little bit, or did they go and say we're making a supercar and we're going to cut as many corners as we can, or did they minimalize it? Did they give us like, okay, this is the base minimum that you need to have a supercar? It's right now
you're a
it's
budget
untested, unseen.
supercar, a
Yeah,
budget supercar.
right. It's like the Evo RS, like the Evo 7 RS, where it had crank windows and no radio and no AC. And it was like someone took a base model Lancer and put the body kit on it and the turbocharger, and you were good to go. Like, is that
Yeah,
what I'm
but I
getting
mean,
here?
this thing still has power windows. It still has AC. It still has all the creature
True,
comforts.
true. Well,
But
I'm
what
talking,
I'm wondering
back in the
is
90s. So.
is like some of these smaller companies like Noble and stuff like that who made supercars or their own version of supercars on a budget. I'm wondering if they took a page out of their book and just, instead of buying the crazy expensive parts, engineered their own and are able to use existing parts off of other stuff. And since it's in a different configuration, it worked better.
So what you're saying is either they did exactly what I always tell car companies to do, which is just build your own awesome car. You can do it for cheap. And then therefore GM just listen to me and I somehow like GM now. Or they cut some corners and the new Corvette's going to suck.
Or a mixture of
Here's
both.
what my biggest concern, like what I think of it is like, okay, so we have this new Corvette and it's about to be tested. Maybe it's going to test out really, really well, but is it the type of car where like it's a flash in the pan? Like you get it on the track that one time, you get in a test drive situation and it's amazing, but keep it for a little bit and just watch it just completely fall apart on you. Is
Right.
that's my
Right.
my biggest
And
concern
and
is like
again
that's
and
where
again
we're at with the Corvette.
like I said before, if this mid-engine Corvette doesn't pan out, you've just killed the Corvette name, because you can't go back to a rear-wheel drive front-engine car.
Right.
I mean, you can, but it's going to be, people are going to be like, oh, well, see, you guys, we told you guys that wasn't going to work.
Right.
So,
Right. So it's one of those things. It's just like, wow. The thing that's got me so torn is that the pictures are just pretty. They're very pretty
right,
pictures. I
right.
really
And
like that car.
again, I'd have a lot less doubt if they would have just built a new car. Keep the Corvette how it was and then name this something else.
I know someone on our Facebook page here had commented um, on the new Corvette post and was like talking about how the original design for the Corvette, it was supposed to be mid-engined anyway, and so like the original designer finally got his dream.
Right.
Maybe I have to say I wanted to respond to that just a little bit and say like, hey man, um, maybe you're right. I could be wrong here, but the fact that there's this long history of the Corvette being this front-engined rear-wheel drive car, the most extreme of the muscle car type, if you will.
Hmm.
Um, and now it's a mid-engine wannabe supercar. So either it
Yeah,
performs and changes all our minds, or it doesn't. And do they do they
and
go
just
back? Do they go back to front engine rear wheel drive and just go, yeah, yeah, it just goes fast and straight line?
I
Do
think
they continue
I
to
think
say
what
no?
they'll
We can
do.
fix it. I mean,
I think that's what'll happen is they'll get stubborn and be like, hold on. That was just our first attempt.
right,
You know what
right.
I
We
mean?
just tried
Like
the one time, just one.
that was our first attempt. Give us another generation and see what we can do.
Right.
Okay. And then
So we
it
get into the
and then
second
it starts
generation of it.
and then it starts picking up in price like all the other Corvettes ever did. And so this first Corvette was only 58,000 to kind of base price it, and then all of a sudden the next generation, because they've had to upgrade things and new parts here and research and development over here. Now it's 65,000.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
And then they come out with the third year. We got to go in. Third time's the try, guys. Third time's the try. We
Yeah,
got it this time,
yeah.
and they're gonna make
Oh, third
one.
time
And
it's 75,000.
75,000. And it's like, oh man, the Corvette's too expensive for the people that like it. They're like,
Right.
well, retro Corvette.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can always buy one of these old crappy front engine ones. I mean, what the heck?
Well, no, what I'm saying is they'll do like the Challenger,
Oh,
Mustang, Camaro thing, and they'll go, okay,
which
but now we
if they were to bring
redesign the '60s Corvette or something, right? And
if
here
they
you
were to bring
go.
one of those body styles back, which one do you think they would do?
I think
Out of
'60s Corvette. That's
out
what
of all of those iconic ones,
that would be my bet. I would bet on the '60s.
I do like the '60s look. They do look good in the '60s.
I
The
I'm
'70s they were garbage.
'70s are I like them and I don't like them just because they're so weird and they've got those crazy fender flares in the front and they're just this long cigar shaped thing. I
And
I
they were the
do they're
and
not
they
my
had the
favorite
lowest.
Corvette.
They had like the lowest horsepower out of any of them, even the original. it was
They were
it was
they were
garbage.
cool looking though. I don't know that the
I,
exhaust coming down the side, like
yeah, I
it
mean
was
those were
just
good.
so crazy that I liked it. Like I said, not my favorite. My favorite is definitely that '63 split window. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
honestly I would put my money not necessarily on the split window, but on that '60s style. And I
Well,
think that if they did
they
it, they
got
would
rid of
do it
the
without a
they got rid of the split window because people couldn't see.
well,
That was that was
who
the
needs
big
to
issue.
really see? I mean,
That was the
honestly,
big issue. That's the reason why they got rid of that
hey,
panel right there.
it works for those kind of cars, man. The Evo sold all the time, even though the wing was exactly where you would look out the rear view mirror and you couldn't see behind you. But who needs to see the cars behind you? You're winning.
Well, here's the thing. Who uses that center mirror a lot? I mean, a lot of people use each side mirror.
Right. But if you need to look in the rear view mirror, there's a wing there.
Yeah, yeah.
You just you get to monitor your downforce, I guess,
There you go.
Or
There you go.
in the Corvette's case, you just get to see that your window indeed is split and you're much cooler than all the other people.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. The this Corvette's going to be an interesting one. It's like I said, it's still
Definitely.
really early to pass any hard judgment on it.
Yeah, I'm
But it's
gonna have to see a few test drives. They are.
mhm.
I mean, we have to assume that they're testing the car at least on the racetrack because they put out what a 3 second 0 to 60 time,
Yeah,
or is it just
yeah. I
slightly under
remember
3 seconds, like a
it
two
was
nine
something
or
like
something?
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember hearing something about that. Yeah.
So we know
I'm
that.
sure that they've taken it on the track, and they're like, we can do better. So let's not put those numbers out yet,
I hope that's what they
because I
did. I
mean
hope they didn't
they've
take it on the
been
track and go, we could cut some more corners.
they've been test muling it all over Michigan.
Oh, I know. I tried to read a few extra news articles today, and it was just I just got spammed with all these Corvettes in the camouflage wrap. They don't want you
Yeah.
to see how exactly it looks, so they wrap it in that
Hmm.
thing. You don't get all the lines, and it's like, oh, they're just they're everywhere. So yeah, I mean they're testing, but we don't really know the data from that. We know
No.
that the car. is fast-ish.
We know it drives.
It does drive on a track, and when the tester was like, "I'm gonna go get some coffee, I'm taking the company vehicle," and the guy's like, "Hey, yeah, I'm tuning."
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
mean, we've gotten a few spy shots, but I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's killing me because
it's too
is it
early
going to
to
be
give
good?
him
Is it going to be?
credit.
But yet I want to because it looks cool.
Well, I know.
It's like I'm sorry, I'm excited. It's the first thing since the '60s that Chevy's designed that I'm excited about. Like honestly,
right. Well, it's the first thing since the '60s that's different. Everything is the same.
they didn't
I
make
mean,
it a crossover. You could have been worse. Could have been
that's
worse.
very true. Yeah, just wait for the SUV Camaro.
Mm. Speaking of SUVs, I think we've made it to this point in the video where I would really like to talk about the new Evolution.
Oh, jeez. Is it going to be an SUV?
Can we just talk about it? Because I think we need to talk about it, Mark.
Because I didn't hear anything about the Evo. I don't know what's going on.
Mitsubishi teased it out, and me and you kind of talked about it just very minusculely. I'm not sure if we were live or if we were on comments. Either way, it was very, very minimal information that's come out, and I was excited because the renderings were like they looked like someone took the new STI and put some Mitsubishi badges on it. Let's be honest, but they had some renderings that kind of were hopeful, and Mitsubishi said, yes, we're going to bring back the Evolution. And then I find out it's more disappointing than the Eclipse crossover, which is just infuriating. It just really is.
So what you're trying to say is the Evo has evolved from a small four-door sedan to a SUV?
It's not an SUV. It's a crossover.
Well, it's still an SUV.
It's a hybrid crossover, Marty. Marty, it is a hybrid crossover. And I don't know if I can handle. I can't handle that kind of disappointment in my life.
Bandwagon? Are you about to jump off the Mitsubishi bandwagon?
I'm keeping this. I'm keeping this, but I'm going to keep the Eagle badges on it now. I was going to change out the Eagle badges. I'm not. I'm keeping the Eagle badges on it. I'm done. Dude, Mitsubishi, what did you guys do? Oh,
it's what I've been telling you. All these car companies think, oh, everybody wants SUVs. Let's make SUVs. And then all of a sudden, just like station wagons and minivans, the bubble is gonna pop, and all these SUVs are gonna be sitting around, and people are like, I don't want that. And you can't even get rid of them.
And you've ruined the name that goes along with it. You've ruined the Evolution name. I don't care how good it is. I don't care if it's fast. I don't care if it can go on every terrain known to man. I don't care if the thing will fly you to the moon. It is a hybrid crossover, and you're calling it an Evolution. And it's just, oh, dude. And the guy who was writing about it was excited for it. I just couldn't even. I was sick to my stomach, Marty. I couldn't. I was turning green in the mirror. I was just not very happy about this. I was gonna smash some stuff. It was bad.
I don't know why every car company needs to do that. It's you guys need to stop. There is literally an oversaturation of crossovers and SUVs.
What? And
you could literally give every single human being. You could literally give every single human being an SUV, and there'd still be 30,000 people without one because it's just ridiculous. There's so many SUVs out right now. I mean, how many does Chevy have? 9?
Dude, and Ford's got like 6, and Dodge has like 10, and I mean, I just don't know how many more SUVs I can handle. Mitsubishi went to all SUVs plus their subcompact Mirage. So you have the
why couldn't they bring back like the
Outlander
Montero Sport?
I don't know. That's what they teased. They teased they were doing a Montero Sport. They
We,
did
we
the
can't we can't
Outlander. They did the
we
Outlander
can't kill the
Sport.
Montero name like that.
Yeah, Lord forbid we hurt the Montero name with a electric hybrid. Dude, seriously, it's a like okay, so it's gonna have the Outlander hybrid electronic differential electric motors at the wheels system for all-wheel driving this. And I mean, maybe the complex system will be really, really good and awesome, but no one's gonna drive it off road. I don't think anyone's gonna buy it because anyone who liked the Evolution name, like I said 2 weeks ago, was that if you're gonna maybe we're gonna see a new Lancer. We're not. We're just gonna have this weird Evolution crossover, and it's a plug-in hybrid that uses the Outlander's plug-in hybridness, and it's supposed to have like a tiny little turbocharged engine that's going to be really fuel efficient and super good on emissions. And I'm done. Mitsubishi's dead. They
Yeah.
died.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I was very concerned come the turn of the millennia.
haven't they already been kind of dead for a minute?
The last 20 years, they've been slowly committing suicide and just been like, how many things can we do wrong? And it started with the Eclipse, and it ended with the Evo, and it was the death of the 3000 GT, and the Mirage Turbo Wagon, and all the cool things you guys used to do.
Uh-oh. So this means that you're going to stop being a Mitsubishi fanboy, and you're going to start touting Chevy stuff.
Dude, don't even say it, okay? That's not even allowed to be uttered. I will not be a Chevy fan. I'm sorry, Chevy. I can admit when you guys do something good, but I'll never be a fan.
Rob's gonna start wearing Corvette hats, and he's gonna have Chevy gloves. He's even gonna have he's still gonna have his Chevrolet, his little LPC.
Dude, if you would have told me even just 5 years ago, Rob, there's gonna be a point in time in 5 years from now, you and Marty are gonna be sitting down talking about how much you like the new Vet and hate the new Evo, I would have told you you're a moron. There's no way. That's never going to happen. Not in my lifetime ever. And yet here we are. I just don't even, I'm at a loss for words at this point.
I don't know why everybody needs to make SUVs. It's just ridiculous.
Well, why do you have to ruin it? Like, why are you ruining a name?
I want to come out with a car company that brings back all these iconic cars under one name. Like you get like, what am I trying to say here? A Trans Am. Or you get an actual Eclipse. You get an actual Evo. And all these car companies, we just buy the names and buy the rights to them and create something good.
I could see that. I'd be totally down for that. There was a live feed that I did talking about doing resurrecting Eagle in order to kind of make my dream of each and every individual submarket of cars, where if I could have the Eagle brand, I would find a name and I would make the quintessential muscle car, and I would make the quintessential tuner car, and I was going to make that quintessential hatchback, and just like go down the line. I know it was my live feed, or in my story or whatever, so it disappeared, and I lost the footage, unfortunately, which is why you should make sure to follow me and Marty both over on the Instagrams, because you get a little extras. No one else knows about it.
I'll tell you what, a lot of the stuff that makes it out into the Instagram doesn't make it over here.
Right. And the stuff over here is not always over there.
Right. So
make sure to follow us. Riding with Rob, All Terrain Outlaws, all that good stuff.
Jump over it. Yep.
Anyway.
There's that one photo won't die. That Lightning McQueen photo will not die.
Dude, that was like the greatest spot of all time. I have to ask you, did you spot that?
Or... I was sent that probably 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
It was spot on.
There's actually 2 more photos with it. There's actually some more up close photos of it.
I mean, that was a spot on, like, very cool. Someone did an excellent job. I was digging it. It was
I saw one in Kansas City, but I was driving, I was probably a couple 100 feet away, and I was turning a corner, and I'm like, there's no way I can even get my phone out in time to take a picture of it. So But yeah,
Right.
I mean, yeah, probably like I think it was 2 years ago someone sent that to me, and I was just like, screw it, I'll just put it up, see what happens. It's
Dude, awesome photo. I don't think I've
it's
ever seen that. I mean, I'm
no,
on a lot of different car club sites. I've never seen that one. So that one was really cool. I
yeah,
loved it. I mean, when cars came out, it was like, cool, there's a car. I mean, I was young enough and not old enough to, completely diss it. And I was like all about it because it was just cars. It was great.
yeah,
It was cool.
yeah.
And then I
Well, I mean,
really
there's
liked
some,
going through I mean, I'm just a nerd. I'm sorry, guys. I just am. But I really enjoyed going through the movie and being like, okay, he is, I mean, that guy's a NASCAR. Well, what kind of truck is that? And what kind of Cadillac? And hey, he's a Willis Jeep. And, like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, because
oh,
they did
she's
a
a
pretty
Porsche
good job of,
Boxer. Like, yeah, they
yeah,
did a good
they did
job.
a pretty good job of actually like representing the cars
Right. And I mean, they
instead
did a
of
few funny
instead
things where,
of like
like, the insects in the movie are beetles, which, actual beetles. It's great. Cars is awesome. Great
yeah,
movie.
and the cows are farm tractors.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
It was a good flick. I enjoyed it.
It was a good flick for being like a kid's movie, which, obviously I have. If you've been watching this live stream, I'm well aware of at this point.
Right. Uh, I don't know, man. I
What's up?
don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next coming week or so
Uh,
with what Corvette decides to start putting out, because
right.
I don't, if they're gonna release it in 2020 and we're already halfway through 2019, they're gonna have to start bringing out some numbers and some specs, and
Right.
start
Right.
showing it off more.
There's gonna be a race team or somebody that gets their hands on one and is testing it. There's gonna be one of these major publications is gonna get their hands on it, gonna get some
Mhm.
test drives in, and give us some honest reviews.
Well, it's got to be.
Hopefully.
There's got to be at least 6 months of their marketing before they actually put it out to the general public.
Right. Yeah, we got. I mean, and it's crazy. Like, it's going to be the first Chevy in a very, very long time that I'm excited for it to come out. I really am. That's weird to say. That's just weird. I think I need to take a shower right now. Like,
I,
ugh,
I
just
I
suddenly
really
excited for
wonder
Chevy.
if it's going to steal a lot of thunder from like Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
If, like, honestly, if they did it right, if they legitimately made a supercar that is affordable, yeah, it's gonna kill, and it's not gonna kill Ferrari and Lamborghini. What it's gonna do is it's gonna make them go, okay, but for just $10,000 more, you could have an actual Ferrari or Lamborghini. You know what I mean? It's gonna bring, if they did it correctly, if they did a mid-engine car,
If
um,
yeah,
mono-framed and lightweight and
well, I
V8
mean,
horsepowered and you know really fast. I
I read a
would love to see an entry model Ferrari, please and
I
thank
read
you.
a I read a tweet from Matt Farah, and he goes, if they actually pulled this thing off, they're gonna kill Boxsters and Caymans.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I just got.
Inundated with children.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what was going on. James was like, a really bad thing happened, and I was like, what? And there's nothing going on in the garage at all. So I'm expecting
No,
like, oh no, fire! Like, grab the fire extinguisher. Oh no, the screen broke and the dogs have let loose. Like, but what
no,
in
like,
fact is happening is nothing.
but I read a tweet from Matt Farah, and he goes, if they pulled this off, what's keeping Boxster and Cayman from just closing the doors and calling it quits? Because
That's a good point. That's a good point. If it's going to be faster and more affordable and cooler looking than a Porsche, I mean, you're what you're going to boil down to is just guys that only like the. I mean, there's fanboys for Porsche. It's just going to be Porsche fanboys only.
right.
Like,
But if people are going for performance and handling and comfort and everything like that, and they can get it for $40,000 less than what they normally get,
yeah,
they're not gonna spend the extra money. They're gonna think in their head, go, I really do like them Porsches, but this thing's like $60,000 cheaper.
Yeah, yeah. What do you do with that? What do you do?
Yeah,
Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this means that maybe we'll get some cool cars, like some cool name brands. Trying to, you know what? We're gonna make one for cheaper. Screw you guys, and it's gonna be better quality. And it's gonna be because
maybe there'll be a fight going on. Like you said, an entry level supercar fight.
that would be amazing.
That
That'd
would
be
be
amazing. For a very long time, like one of the things I love about my Fiat is that it's the Abarth version, and then it's kind of like this kind of upper echelon almost of a small car, right? Of a small cheap car. Um, I've always wanted to like in Europe they have an Aston Martin. Aston Martin makes a Fiat 500 competitor, I guess you would say, right?
really.
Um, it's much more expensive.
Oof.
Audi makes one. Yes, it's much more expensive, but it's an Aston Martin. Audi makes one. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's an Audi, right?
Right, right.
And they're legitimate competitors. So I would love to see Ferrari, Lamborghini, some of these companies where like their cars I've always dreamed of driving. I've always wanted to get behind the wheel of one of these things and get on a racetrack somewhere and really open it up
I
and
think it'd be
thrash it.
I think it'd be really interesting to see because I obviously if this Corvette sticks to its its numbers and stuff like that, it's gonna give them a run for their money, and they're gonna have to do something.
Right. So what's the response from Ferrari, from Lamborghini, from Aston Martin, Porsche even? You know, are we going to finally see them? Because like one of the things that man, I love Jeremy Clarkson. I think he's hilarious. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
things he always talks about is like when they were testing out the Porsche RS3, right? The crazy stripped down race car version. He was like,
Right.
so they took out my air conditioning, they took out my power windows, they put scaffolding in it, they took out my back seats and all my nice interior, and they
Mm-hmm.
charged me more for it. I was like,
Right.
what? Are we going to see something like that where like I said, like dude, the original Evo RS is, and I think they made it even for 8 and 9, they made that RS where it's this like we stripped all the cool stuff out of it. The only thing it does is go fast. Like
Right.
I would love to see cars like that. Like I'm a big, huge petrol head, gear head, whatever you want to call me, where I love fast cars, and to see like a bunch of like just like we can make the most dirt cheap, awesome
I,
hypercar of your life, and here you go, dude. And like I could afford it, and I could get into one of these things, and who cares if it doesn't have the cool touch screen or like the whatever bull crap on it?
and
Just
see
as
that's
long
the
as it
reason
goes
why
fast.
a lot of those are expensive to begin with because like the Ferrari steering wheel is like $1,000 for just the steering wheel because of all the
Right,
buttons and knobs and switches on it.
right,
Okay, because
right.
90% of all of this, 90% of everything that would be in the car is on the steering wheel. So you don't have to move your hands, all over the place. It's just
Right.
right here, steering wheel. But I
Right. We
mean,
don't need silly stuff like that. Or like you're talking about like Lamborghini, I think it is. Maybe it's Bentley. It's one of those higher end companies. They only buy cowhide from cows that are raised above the level where mosquitoes can live. So that way the
yeah.
cowhide has less imperfections in it.
Hmm.
And then they have people still inspect it, and if there's an imperfection, they don't use that entire dang hide. They have to use absolute perfect, and they make all these absolute perfect things,
Yep.
and it's a great craftsmanship. Don't get me
And
wrong, but it's
if they
extremely
don't have enough,
expensive.
to do an interior, they get rid of that leather and get enough to where they get a big enough hide to where they can do the interior because
It all
they
has to
can't
be
have
perfect.
different colors and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
oh yeah.
lot of the times these companies go way over the top, and I'm just saying that we were joking earlier about what corners did Chevy cut, but there are definitely corners you can cut. There's
Right,
not like
right.
there's
Yeah,
stuff you there's not stuff that's not like I mean honestly, who cares if the leather has a slight imperfection? Who cares if
right,
I
right.
mean,
Well,
I
I mean,
don't care if you
it's one
can
of
do
those things
everything
of
on the steering wheel. The car is fast and it looks cool. That's what I want.
like this car has brushed stainless steel knobs, and then
Right,
Chevy comes up and goes, okay, well we can do that with aluminum for a quarter of the price.
right.
You know,
It looks the
oh
same.
well, we've got um fancy wood from, this section of Germany that you can only get in this section of Germany that costs $800 a foot.
Yeah, and it's molded right just into the center console right there, that one little piece. Right?
Right. And Chevy goes, okay, yeah, but we can get something very similar right down the
Yeah.
street for
Let's just use
$5.
some pine, guys. Guys, there's a
You know
pine
what I
tree
mean?
right there. We'll cut it down. We'll stain it real nice for you. It'll look
But you know
great.
what I mean? Like,
But who
there
cares?
are definitely legitimate places to cut corners,
Right.
but with as much as they've undercut everybody, what have they cut corners on?
Right. That's why, like I said, it's concerning. It's also concerning. But like I said,
But I mean, you got to
maybe
look
they
at a
did.
lot of these.
Maybe they did. I don't think
You
they did.
got
I
to
think
look at it though, because a lot of these cars like titanium chassis, and
right.
Chevy's like, okay, we did it in aluminum.
Right. Right. Or like the Porsche. Porsche does it, and so does McLaren. They do the carbon fiber, mono frames where they have to lay in and roll out and cut the different pieces of carbon fiber and layer it, and it's a big long process. It's complex. Well, I guess it's not that complex if you're talking about laying carbon fiber, but somewhat. It takes some know-how.
Right.
It takes a giant oven, uh, and, and it takes a process, and it's much more expensive than being able to have a couple robots put some two pieces of aluminum together and go bzz, bzz.
Right, exactly. So I mean, theoretically, yeah, I can see them cutting enough corners to make it half the price of a regular supercar.
Right, totally.
But are any of these gonna be wanting to come after them after this?
Yeah,
We'll see.
I hope
We'll
so.
see.
We will see.
It'd be cool to see, like you said, a budget Ferrari or a budget Lamborghini.
I would love it. I've always wanted them guys to do, something affordable, right? Just like Aston Martin and Audi did their hatchbacks. I would love to see that done by Ferrari and Lamborghini because, yeah, okay, we're going to talk about a much more expensive subcompact car or a hatchback or something, right? But it would be cool to be able to say, or a Ford, a Ferrari, or Lamborghini, and actually have it be a quality piece of product that they put their heart and soul into the way they do with their supercars. But something I could afford. And if that's what we're looking at with the Corvette, yeah, Chevy, fly the big W over your headquarters for the next 10 years. You won. Like, you guys
Exactly.
get it out of the ballpark. If you decided to cut corners and the cars aren't going to be very good quality and the cars aren't going to do more than just a couple trips down the quarter mile and maybe your occasional road course, you failed.
With it being mid-engine, I wonder how hard it is going to be to work on it and for people to actually do stuff to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now it's a whole different ball of wax. Where before it was you could go to the store and buy parts off the shelf, and now since it's a whole new car, what's the modification outlook look like? What's all this other stuff look like? Are you going to be able to do stuff to it? Is it basically, like when you when you start playing video games and you buy a car and you go to the upgrade shop and there's nothing for it because they don't have any upgrades for it. Is that what this car be like?
Yeah. Hopefully not. Hopefully, I mean, with the price range that it's in the price range of guys like us that can, that are going to want to work on their own stuff, that are going to want to modify their own stuff.
Right.
And who knows what's going to come out with the Z06 and the ZR1 and the different special models that they're obviously planning on doing.
True.
I've heard rumors of turbocharging instead of supercharging. There could be a legitimate future where the Corvette is up there with the big dogs. And I mean the big dogs,
right.
Like the Pagani Zonda and stuff, like some
that's
heavy
crazy
stuff.
Because these cars are, $400,000, $500,000, $1 million, and this car is walking. It's literally like it's really literally like taking a trailer from a trailer park and moving it into Beverly Hills.
Yeah, and it's so
be
weird
there,
that you're going to be able to do that at a price where you're like, yeah, my neighbor paid more for his Toyota Sienna minivan because he got the extra seats and the double DVD player, and I opted for screw air conditioning. The car's fast.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
please. Yes,
Right.
please.
It's one of those things that that's the thing is it's like you're gonna start hearing about these supercar shootouts, and it's gonna be Lamborghini, Ferrari, you know, all these other big names, and then it's gonna all of a sudden it's gonna be Corvette, and you're like, what are you doing here?
What, dude?
Just let me show you.
Yeah. little little man's excited. He started a fire, guys. Okay,
Nice.
he's got a fire going. Got some s'mores. But how long? Where are we at right now, Marty? We got to be close to an hour, right?
Oh shit! Let me check. 50
Not
minutes.
to cut everybody off, but
50 minutes.
yeah,
But I mean, like I say, like we say you've got Lamborghinis, and you've got the high end Audis like the R8s, and then you've got Ferraris, and you've got the Continental Speeds, and all these other big name cars, and then all of a sudden you have this Corvette that rolls up, that's your guys' yearly tune up.
right.
It costs as much as you.
So where are we at? I, I like Jose's comment there. That's pretty funny. Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate your comments. Even if you decide to come on here just to pick on me, I appreciate y'all. But yeah, we'll see. Hey, man, the future's looking weird. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on. We got weird electric cars. The Evo is going to be a hybrid crossover. The Corvette might blow my mind and be amazing. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but
the
hey,
Corvette might single-handedly take down supercars.
It
might.
That's the key word. That's the key word. Oh, that's so distressful.
Here's the deal. I mean, if it does, it's literally like it's literally like going to the casino and putting $2 in and winning $1 million.
Right. Right. You did something right. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully, guys, tell us what you guys think. I know a lot of you guys are watching this later on in the week, and we appreciate you guys just as much as the guys that join us live here.
Yep.
Excuse
definitely.
me. Had a few too many beers, and I did had a few too many tonight. That's all right though. I had fun with you guys. But yeah, make sure to leave us a comment. Make sure you share the video. Hit one of the emoji con thingies. It doesn't matter which one. Whichever one you feel is most ironic. How about that?
Any of the fun
ones.
Follow us up on we're gonna start putting these live videos up on the YouTube.
Yes, this will be up tomorrow on YouTube. So if you're like, oh man, I missed, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll still get these videos also. So
yeah, go check that out. Like Rob said earlier, go follow the Instagrams, Riding with Rob and the All Terrain Outlaws. We got a bunch of stuff that sometimes doesn't make it back over here.
Yeah, and hey guys, make sure you're sending us your project cars and the stuff that you guys are working on. It doesn't matter if it's here on the YouTube or on the Facebook or the other what is it? What's the other one? Dang it! Yeah, that one. Instagram.
That one? Or even Twitter.
Or the Twitter.
We still have one of those.
We still have tweeting thing, apparently.
But yeah, so hey, like I said, also if you guys want to jump on with us, let us know. We'll plan something out and get something going. If you guys want to just jump on and do a live video of whatever you're working on in your garage, jump on, do it.
Hey, we'll happy to watch it, happy to see it. Absolutely, guys. Definitely. But Marty, until next week. It was wonderful talking to you again, as always.
I will catch you later.
All right. Later, guys.
Peace.